So Dennis, what do you make of this visit by Chinese businesses and entrepreneurs to Maryland? We've also seen similar visits to China by U.S. companies. What is the message that Beijing here wants to convey from these visits and also from U.S. visits of their Chinese counterparts?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. But I think that we've entered a period of what I would call cautious engagement with one another. I think we're feeling around how we can find areas of potential collaboration and cooperation. And these high-level visits have tried to set the tone that within the framework of competition and rivalry, we also can have cooperation and work together in a number of areas of potentially mutual benefit.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Dennis, because I was going to move on to a meeting in Laos over the weekend between China's top diplomat Wang Yi and U.S. Secretary of State Blinken. Clearly, there are areas these two sides do not see eye to eye, but there are also areas that perhaps they can narrow the differences. But by the pure fact that they even had these discussions on the sidelines of ASEAN gathering, is that by itself some measure of success?
Yeah, yes, I would agree 100%. I think that if you look at where we were even a year ago, these are all indicators that progress is being made. But don't forget, this relationship suffers from a trust deficit, and we need to rebuild the trust. And these visits, they lay out on the table the differences of where, the U.S. stands and China stands. And then now we have an opportunity to pursue some new areas. So, for example, cooperation not only on climate change, which everyone talks about, but also in areas like public health. For example, U.S.-China collaboration to find a cure for cancer, or something, work that we can do together to deal with Alzheimer's. These are all potentially areas that don't involve big security issues and could prove not only a benefit to both countries, but also a benefit to the world.
These are obviously the world's biggest economies. So business ties, economic ties can truly impact the world. So how critical are these trips? And, you've answered some of it already. How important are these trips by these delegations and vice versa in building that trust? But in terms of substance, Dennis, will they go a long way here?
Yeah, I think so. In fact, I think that what we have to understand is that rebuilding the relationship is a twofold process. There's a top-down part of it where these big, important meetings are taking place, but there's also a bottom-up element, the people-to-people part of it, sister city relationships, state-to-state relationships. All of these are very important in helping to build connectivity and to rekindle some of the good things that were being done in the 80s and in the 90s and even in the early part of the 21st century. And I think that if we can slowly but steadily engage in some trust-building measures, like some projects where the projects proceed ahead smoothly, we can clearly improve our trade relationship. We need to negotiate and renegotiate some areas where there are obvious difficulties. We need to, I think, renew the science and technology agreement between the two countries. It has expired, and it is due for some kind of renewal, and it's time to do that. And then, of course, continuing to pursue educational exchanges, getting more American students to China. The initiative by Xi Jinping to get 50,000 American students to go to China over 5 years, I think that's an important step forward in building this trust and actually building for the next generation so that young Chinese and young Americans can begin to understand how to work together in a more constructive way.
All right, and we'll leave it there on that positive note. Denis Simon, thank you very much.
Thank you.